The mother of one of the Folweni Massacre victims says she fears that the gunmen will return. 6 people were shot dead on Sunday night in the area of Folweni. This is in the south of Durban. 1 person survived the shooting and is recovering in hospital. This is where we find our reporter Karinda Jagmohan, who is at the scene where the incident happened. Just a warning that the images that we are about to show to you may be graphic for sensitive viewers. Karinda, good morning to you. As you take us through the scene of this gruesome shooting, are there any indications from the police as to what the motive may have been?
At this stage, really, there's no indication from police on what the motive may be, but I've just spoken to one of the victim's mother, Thandazile Mthembu, a 55-year-old who has been living in this home her whole life where the incident, the massacre happened. And she believes that this shooting may be related to drug crimes. Her son, 32-year-old Sipho Mthembu, was among those who were killed in this massacre, and she says herself that her son was involved in drugs, and this may be the reason why gunmen entered her home on that Sunday evening. Now, it was Sunday at about 8:30 to 9 o'clock. She describes when 3 gunmen entered this premises, and my colleague Gifton Kosi is about to show you some of where these shootings happened. Now, these images are graphic for sensitive viewers. The Sipho and some of his friends, as well as his girlfriend, were actually in this tent. They were hanging out here. According to his mother, they were involved in drug use. And the gunmen, when they entered this property, opened fire on those that were in this kind of makeshift tent. And you can see some of the blood stains still here, just spattered really across this tent. And this is where 6 people died at the scene. Now, Thandazile was actually inside this building when the shooting happened. She said she heard the gunmen opening fire. She heard screams as well. And she immediately locked the door just in time because they started shooting at this door. Gift will actually show you some of the bullet holes that made its way inside the kitchen, went through a bucket inside the kitchen, and you can still see some of the damages inside the house. Now, Thandazile, as well as 2 little children that she lives with here, they immediately went on the floor, on the tiles, and they slept there the whole night because they didn't know when it was safe. She said she could hear the gunmen, 3 men, walking around this house, seemingly trying to find any witnesses to the shooting. Fortunately, they didn't make it inside the home per se. They targeted those who were inside this tent. Now, what is interesting here as well is that she describes the fact that the gunmen, one of them had what she describes as a big gun. So, of course, heavy weaponry. She said 2 others had smaller guns that they used. Now, she still fears for her life. Fortunately, she is speaking out about this. But she says that while police are calling on community members to give information about who the perpetrators of this massacre may be, she says these crimes happen so often in this area, which is just on the outskirts of Durban, a semi-rural area, that she believes no one really is going to speak out because of how often these crimes actually occur, that people are fearing their own lives. And she's lived here all her life with her son. I mean, there are tombstones of elders that have lived here as well, just in the backyard. And so she's not prepared to leave this home. But she says that at this point, until the perpetrators are apprehended, she's going to continue living in fear. In fact, she and the small little children that she lives with, they still have nightmares. I mean, it's only now Tuesday since this incident happened on Sunday, and they're still battling to understand and comprehend seeing the bodies here. They were here overnight because she couldn't get help from police. She said she tried to call them, but there was no answer, and only the next day did investigators come through to actually ascertain what happened. And there is now 1 survivor of this shooting, a woman who is hospitalized at this point, as police say they're just trying to continue investigating how this massacre occurred.
Karinda Jagmohan, what a terrible story. Thank you very much for that comprehensive update. And we are going to keep checking with Karinda as to whether there will be any developments as far as arrests are concerned.